Hello, everyone. Welcome to Computers to Canvas, our podcast where creativity meets practical advice for artists. Hi, I'm Shreya,
I'm Nishtha.
and we are here today to discuss about two very important topics. First is how to decide your niche and how not to burn out while you are deciding your niche. So, what do you have to like? I mean, I kind of discussed my niche creation process last time. So, would you like to share something before we get started?
Um, I am kind of new to this journey, so you can consider me in the process of deciding my niche. But then I'm also like an aspiring interior designer. So I think anything with complete precision and accurate. I'm not an abstract art kind of girl. I need. I mean. I'm.
You are more detail oriented.
Yeah.
Yes, I have
I
seen
like-
that in your work.
Yeah.
You are more detail oriented.
Yeah.
I am more abstracty.
Yeah.
I am more like free flow kind of
Yeah.
person. You are more detail oriented. You like small precision
Yeah.
detail like artwork.
Yeah.
I have
And
seen
also in life as well in general, I have to know what is going to happen. Like even if I'm beginning with any kind of painting or anything for my interior designing project or anything, there are people who just who might just want to begin with the project first and then kind of decide on designs during the process. But for me, I can't function that way. I need to be like, okay, after this I'll be doing this, or like I'm a difficult person to.
that makes us a very good team.
Yeah.
Because one is a free flowing person and
Yeah.
one is a detail oriented
Yeah.
person. So I think
Helps.
that's what makes us a very good team. So we have notes
Oh,
with
yeah,
us because we are going to discuss a lot of things today, and I didn't want to miss out on anything. So first is we are going to decide on what things to consider when you are trying to find your niche. So first, very important thing is reflect on yourself, reflect inwards.
Yeah.
Try
That's
different
important.
mediums.
Yeah.
So are you going saying something?
Yeah, that's important. I was just saying that, yeah, that's very important. That if you just don't know that how do you feel from within
Yeah.
while you are kind of painting a simple canvas as well, then it's not going to help you be creative
Yeah.
next time.
I agree with you on
Creative person has to be very passionate, very,
that. Self-aware.
yeah, in that way.
If
So,
you
yeah.
don't know yourself, then how are you going to decide your niche?
Of course.
First step in deciding your niche is reflect inward, know yourself,
Yeah.
explore yourself. If you need, spend some time in nature, go out for walks, sit in your garden, or go
Yeah.
to public parks and just
Yeah.
observe everything.
Yeah.
Journal.
Yeah, journaling.
Journal your thoughts, because the more you know yourself, the more it will help you to narrow down on your niche.
Journaling can be, I mean, they are just my thoughts, but journaling can be your stepping stone
Yes.
towards being creative, because a person can only write down things who is creative enough to
Yeah.
maybe present them in a form of art.
Art. I mean, you don't have to be a writer.
Yeah.
You can journal in your own language, whatever
Yeah.
language you speak.
Yeah.
You don't have to be
Or maybe
like,
doodle.
Yeah, or maybe doodle,
Yeah.
or just randomly sketch something with your pen.
Scribble,
Yeah,
anything.
scribble, anything. I mean, whatever you think about, just put that on paper first before even starting to paint, because that will help you a lot. Because if you are maintaining a journal, reflecting on yourself, when you go back in time and refer to those things,
Yeah.
it will help you analyze and evaluate how much you have grown, where you need to focus more on
Yeah.
in order to grow more in certain area.
Yeah.
So yeah, reflect on yourself, go inward.
And then I think journaling keeps you on track, and when you are kind of dealing with a burnout that we are going to discuss in the podcast, you can just refer to those pages in the past, and then that's a sense of satisfaction that I have dealt with a lot. I deserve a break.
Yes.
So yeah.
Then the second most important thing is experiment.
Yeah.
Experiment always, like, it's no one is perfect.
No,
So-
of course.
No one is perfect. You don't have to be. Just experiment. Try different mediums. Try out acrylics. Try out pencil colors. Try out oil pastels. Try out resin.
Yeah.
Try out
Anything.
anything. I mean, there are so
any
many
form
other
of
forms.
art.
Try out texture art. There is
Yeah.
mandala art. There is Lipan art.
Worldly art.
There is so much.
Yeah,
I mean,
these are all
these are,
therapy.
yeah,
I
these
think.
are there are so many art forms, and before you fixate yourself on just one thing and then you feel like, oh, I don't feel connected to this, and then you feel like you're doing it out of compulsion,
Yeah.
or because never ever choose your niche because someone else is successful doing that.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
Because they started it for a reason. They started it as it speaks themselves.
Mhm.
It speaks for themselves.
Yeah.
That's why they started it.
important. Yeah.
So if someone is very successful in becoming an acrylic artist, acrylics artist, or someone is an oil painting famous artist,
Yeah.
it is not necessary that because they got success in that
Yeah.
niche, you will also get success in that niche.
Of course.
So never ever yeah.
I mean, of course, it's not even necessary that you have to know every single thing.
yeah,
You
Not
you
necessary.
can be a full-time artist and not know a certain medium. It should
Like-
be okay.
like I still have to refer to color theory.
Yeah.
I am
it's
not
normal.
an expert at color theory. As
Yeah.
I said, I'm a very free flow kind of person. So
Yeah.
I'm very go with the flow kind of person. So I have to, like, I have my color theory book in my cart with me.
It's
I have to
okay.
refer to it, and
Yeah.
it's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have to always be perfect.
Art
You don't
is a
have to-
process.
you
and
don't
then-
have to know it all.
Yeah.
When you are an artist, you are exploring. You are not a know it all person.
Yeah. I agree.
And
Couldn't agree more. I mean, it's a process, and then you only learn when you make mistakes.
when you experience something,
Yeah.
as it's said, art
Agreed.
comes out of experience. It's not something that you can just like decide that I'm an artist and then next day you are an artist.
Yeah.
You feel that you are an
Yeah.
artist, you get that feeling, and then you experience your feeling, you combine all your experiences and you express them on paper, on canvas, or on anything that makes you an artist.
Yeah.
So always be yourself when you are deciding on niche. Experiment with different mediums.
Yeah.
The best way to experiment is attend art workshops, because that way you are supporting other artists and you are not investing in all possible art supplies. Because just for an example, if you buy a full set of oil paints, it's not a cheap buy. It's an expensive buy, and if you buy that, you are trying it out. You do oil painting for maybe, just assume, 2-3 months, and then you feel like this is not who you are, and this
Yeah.
is not who you are what you are feeling connected to. Then, I mean, it's
Waste of money.
Waste of
and
money.
Waste of energy. I think.
and then how many different art supplies will you keep buying until you decide that this is your niche? So instead of doing that, go to art workshops. The other benefit of going to art workshops is you can get to talk to the artist. You can know them, you can know their process, you can know their experience. If you have any doubt, you can discuss it with them. So you have a person to talk to, share your experiences to, share your doubts with. You can ask them questions, and as far as what I know, all artists are very helpful.
Yeah, no one is more helpful than, I mean, creative people.
I think so, because they have
They've dealt
experienced
with
that
yeah.
struggle of finding things out on
Yeah.
their own. So
Yeah.
if someone else is going through the same struggle process, then I think everyone is, most of the artists are
This
happy to help.
podcast itself, I think, is an initiative for
Yeah,
that.
for that, yes.
You know, we can say that.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for adding that. So we always make notes. We'll be referring to these notes
Yeah.
because I don't like to stress when I'm talking.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our next point. I always like to make notes. I always, wherever I go, this is my journal, and I like write down all the steps that I'm doing in my book. And I am a very big person on making notes. So another helpful advice is when you are just starting out, document your process. Because, for example, if you tried something, if you tried a medium today and then you couldn't connect with it, but going forward in time, maybe after 3 months, after 4, 5, 6 months, I don't know, for some reason you feel drawn to
Might get back to
that
it, yeah.
medium and might get back to it. So if you have documented your process, you can get back to it, you can refer to it, and then you can take that forward.
Yeah.
Instead of just wondering, I don't remember what I did 6 months back.
Yeah.
So that is a very good way of figuring out what you want to decide on.
Yeah.
Like when you're trying something new, take notes, document everything, write down everything that you are experiencing, your doubts, your experiences, your thoughts, your questions, everything. Even if you are like Googling something and you find an answer, then just briefly note it down in your journal, because you never know, that might help you sometime in future, or it might help someone else. Another thing you can also do, I mean, if that's possible for you, you can take pictures of your experiments
Yeah.
and put them along with your notes,
Yeah.
so that you have a visual along with the written notes.
I mean, adding to this, do you think this can be very helpful for commercializing your art, or
Yeah.
maybe being a professional artist, but someone who just wants to explore it as a hobby?
Yeah,
It should be okay just to go with the flow as well,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
And then that takes you back to reflecting on yourself.
Yeah.
So if you're documenting your process,
Yeah.
you are actually knowing yourself. You can record, you can track how much you have grown. So documenting always helps.
Yeah.
Now it's up to you. I mean, I'm a paper and pen kind of person. So even if I
Me too, yeah.
have created a Word document, I will print it out like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And then I have like my notes handy. So I'm very old school type of person
Same here.
when it comes to documenting things.
Yeah.
I have like books and books filled with handwritten notes,
Yeah.
copies, and sticky notes and everything, all handwritten.
Yeah.
And that brings us to our third important point, which is, once you are reflecting, first is reflecting on yourself. Second is documenting your process,
Yeah.
like experimenting.
Yeah.
So when you're experimenting, document. And the third one is, because you are doing all of this, now you have a lot of things to share. So who will you share it with? So that brings us to our third important topic, that listen to your audience, share it with your audience, because sometimes when you are in some kind of dilemma, you can always
Maybe
connect
insert
with
a
your
poll.
audience,
Yeah.
insert a poll. So yeah, create a social media account.
Yeah.
It can be Instagram account, Facebook account, TikTok. Which one do you prefer?
I don't use Facebook as of now.
Same here.
Yeah.
I'm more on Instagram.
I'm more on Instagram and similar time I spend on YouTube, I guess.
Yes.
I also love exploring Pinterest, and yeah, that's about it.
I think we are same in
Yeah.
that way. I'm also more on Instagram. I share everything on Instagram.
Yeah,
And then YouTube I refer to, and Pinterest.
yeah. But then I also sometimes this is not very healthy for my budget, my wallet, but just going to IKEA website and Best Elm and
Oh, I do
Beauclair
that all the
and
time.
expensive brands just to remind myself
The
just
reason-
to explore. I'm not going to buy anything, but then I end up feeling so left out. I'm like, okay, leave aside those expensive furniture brands. Exploring Michaels and Indigo website is also not healthy for me. So
That's why I always order from the places where I can return things. Because when you are in that zone,
yeah,
you feel like buy. Sometimes I have been in that zone. Sometimes I enter Michael's store and it's like I want to buy everything.
yeah,
But then sometimes you're able to control yourself. But then
it's not possible.
it's not always
Being
possible.
an artist, I mean, every artist would agree. If someone asks me what's your dream, I'm like collecting every possible stationery item that has, even in past, it has taken its place on this planet Earth.
Yes.
So I'm crazy that
100%.
way.
Even
but
even till date, my grocery expenses are maybe 10%, and 90% are my
Yeah.
art supplies expenses. So I think that's all artists' life story.
I mean, I don't regret.
Yeah, I don't even.
I
regret.
should, but I don't spend anything else on.
Same.
I don't spend
I
on
don't
clothes.
even buy that many clothes.
Yeah,
I buy
don't mind
Art
wearing
supplies.
sandals.
If I have bought like equal amount of clothes as much as I buy art supplies, I would have to buy a full entire wardrobe to store them.
Yeah,
I don't buy that much. I am not that much into shopping. It's just the art supplies.
yeah. We don't consider art supplies into shopping.
No. It's a necessity.
A piece of our heart.
It's the necessity. it's my oxygen.
We think alike.
Okay, like, yeah. I think that's every artist's life story.
Yeah.
Art supplies are their oxygen.
Yeah,
So we are coming back to our discussion.
yeah. We are off topic.
So like when you're creating an
Instagram,
account
yeah.
on Instagram, yes. So create an account on Instagram that will help you share your process. Why it is important to create a social media account? First is you can connect with your audience. Emotional connection with audience is very important, because if someone is not able to connect with you, then they will not be able to connect with your art.
Mhm.
Art is not just like painting something on a canvas and then just selling it.
Yeah.
If someone is
Small,
not
yeah.
able to connect with you, your story,
Hmm.
they will not be able to connect with your art and your art's story, and then that will be just a canvas board with some colors on it for them and for you.
And then monetizing your art is not a right motivation.
Yeah,
I feel, at least.
yeah. Monetizing your art, it's not more
It
about.
can be a part of your
Yeah.
journey, but like it cannot fuel.
Yeah,
you.
because if your focus shifts on from creating art to creating
On
art
money, yeah.
for monetizing, if your focus shifts from creating art
Yeah.
for your passion
Hmm.
to creating art for monetizing, your art will not be that effective.
And then you will not
And
survive that.
You
long,
will
I
be
think.
always under that pressure
Yeah.
that I have to monetize this.
Yeah.
But when you create from the feeling of freedom,
Hmm.
from the feeling of passion,
Hmm.
from the feeling that yes, I love art and that's why I'm creating, and the results, with that mindset, you get
Completely
is a
different,
completely
yeah.
different story than the results that you get when you are I have to sell this painting, I have to
Yeah.
sell this painting. If
I
you
agree.
create with that feeling, then
Hmm.
then you are working on something out of fear.
I mean, did you want to pursue art because you didn't want to go to your 9 to 5 job? If the answer is yes, and still you want to just monetize your art, I don't think you have completely learned
Yeah.
how does this work.
So yeah, another advice: never
Yeah.
ever leave your 9 to 5 job until you. I mean, if you leave your 9 to 5 job
Yeah.
and decide to become a full-time artist, then make sure that you have enough savings,
Yeah.
because then that will again give you the creative freedom.
Hmm.
Otherwise, if you are leaving your 9 to 5 to become a professional artist
Hmm.
and shifting your focus on monetizing it,
Hmm.
then, as I said,
I know, yeah.
it will be a
Disaster.
long struggle life. So yeah, again coming back to our discussion on getting more visibility, sharing art, knowing that what audience likes,
Hmm.
and then again art collectors.
Hmm.
Art collectors is, I know everyone who is a creative person,
Mhm.
they like to, even though the goal is not monetizing the art,
Hmm.
but then you eventually would get to a point where you'll start getting the buyers on their own. You are not going and looking
Pushing
out
your
for them.
art, yeah.
You are not pushing yourself to
Hmm.
sell yourself.
Hmm.
So when that time comes that
Hmm.
people gets attracted to your
Hmm.
artwork and they come to you
Hmm.
and ask you like, are you selling this?
Hmm.
Then for that to happen, you have to share your emotional story,
Hmm.
share why you are creating art.
Hmm.
If you say that I'm creating art because I want to make money and I want to become a millionaire from it,
It's not
no
possible.
one is going to
Yeah.
connect with you emotionally because there is no emotion in it.
Yeah, after all, I can understand that is what you want to earn your money from. It cannot drive you, but for being an artist itself.
So yeah, again, like listing down the points, like why you should create account on social media. First is to connect with people and have their feedback. Know what your artwork speaks to them, how they feel looking at your artwork. Connecting art with your art collectors. So art collectors are people who are not just like they saw your profile today and then they just message you that I want to buy your art. They are someone who follows you for a certain period of time, observes your journey, and then if they can connect with your art, if they think that other people can connect with your art, then they will come and buy your art. So for art collectors, it's very important that you record your journey so that you can connect with the art collectors.
Yeah.
And so
Even if not being art collectors purchasing your art,
yeah,
people who, if you end up hosting art workshops, then if people connect with your art, or how you host your workshop, and then you document it on your social media platforms, then maybe next workshop they will show up.
and another reason why it's important to connect with people, because for example, I started my journey in 2023, and then I met Nishtha last year only,
Yeah,
when she was still starting out
as an
on
artist,
her
a
artist
full-time
journey.
artist, yeah.
So if I'm not able to connect, if my purpose is not able to connect with her emotionally, then she won't get inspired from me.
Yeah,
So if you get emotional connection with the people, then you never know who gets inspired from your journey, and
Yeah.
your story might help someone else's journey.
Of course,
So that
yeah.
is also another reason why it's important to connect with people.
yeah.
You never know, someone might come to you one day, share their story, and and you can feel that emotion and then create art out of it.
Yeah.
So emotions are like
What artists
backbone
live
of
for.
an artist's life.
Yeah,
Without emotions, there is not an artist.
of course. Yeah. I agree.
You will never find a practical artist. Artists are always more creative thinkers, more emotional
Yeah.
people. So that is an important point. Like, listen to your audience.
Yeah.
Another last point is find your unique voice.
Yeah.
As I said, do not select your niche because someone else is successful in that niche. Listen to your voice. If you feel more drawn to oil pastels, then become an oil pastel
Yeah.
artist. Make that your niche.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if there are very few people practicing that art form. It connects with you. That is what is more important.
Yeah. So
Like
important.
her.
Yeah.
Like her, now she is studying to become an interior designer.
Yeah.
So that is the art form that connects with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interior designing is also an
Yeah.
art form.
Yeah.
It's not art. Art is not just that you are taking a canvas
There's no
and
boundary.
just
Yeah.
painting.
There's no boundary.
Interior designing is like making people's home beautiful. That is a different type of art.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean,
That's her
and then
niche.
when I think about it, if I become an interior designer in future, maybe, and then I can customize the artworks in a certain home
yeah.
with my own hands, and then I have my own signature on that artwork, and then add a little tiny customization to that whole space.
Yeah, that can be
It's
your
a whole different.
That can be your
Yeah.
return gift to them
Yeah.
for hiring your
Yeah.
interior designing
Yeah,
services.
that's my
So,
vision.
yeah, that's your vision. So yeah, that is also a niche. Being an artist
Yeah.
and becoming an interior designer.
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't have to be like you. If you want to become an artist, then you have to be like all painting artist
Yeah.
or lipan art artist or texture art
Yeah,
artist.
yeah.
You can be anything.
Interior designing kind of relates with me being always drawn towards details and accuracy and precision,
Yes.
because you can't go wrong with being accurate
So
when you
now,
are a designer.
so now you have a niche.
Yeah, I found my niche through this podcast, I think. So I'm hoping many other people also finds their own.
Okay, so next, after going through all the self-exploration process, trying different mediums, experimenting different mediums, the other next thing that everyone faces is burnout. I mean, I almost cancelled shooting this podcast yesterday
We did.
because, and then she kind of threatened me that I cancelled all my plans because.
It was not.
So I was like, okay, come over and we'll record. It's okay, we'll record.
Oh yeah, and that's how I don't mind if we get things done like
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, a creative burnout is a thing that you should know how to deal
Yeah.
with. So first is if
Before
you're
we
feeling-
begin, disclaimer: I did not threaten. It was just a normal text.
I know, I'm like, okay, I cancel all my plans.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No offense, I'm very happy because now we are recording. So
I'm happy too.
so yes, just to recognize that you have been at the verge of having a burnout. Recognize the signs. Your body will tell you, like there is a mental burnout. So in mental fatigue, if you feel frustrated, if you feel like you want to throw out everything away, then you need to take a break because you
Yeah.
don't want to throw out everything away. You are just overworked and
Yeah.
overwhelmed with the experimenting process, with trying to figure out what your niche can be. So just take it easy, take a break, art is not going anywhere.
It's not, yeah.
You can just take a break, go out, I love to go for long drives. So whenever I feel creative burnout, I just take my car, I go for a long drive, I put some music
music,
on,
yeah.
depending on my mood. Sometimes
Yeah.
I listen to romantic song, sometimes I listen to party songs. So just take a break, like a 30 minutes, 1 hour break, or maybe a week long break might help you.
Yeah.
Or you can also take a break for 1 month also. I mean, you don't, it's not that just
Yeah,
there is no
not-
fixed time.
Yeah.
When you feel like it's the right time to get back to your experimenting process, just take a break until then. Again, it comes to know yourself.
It's very
And-
subjective, yeah.
Yeah, know yourself.
Yeah.
Listen to your body, it talks to you. So that is the best way to avoid the burnout. You might feel headache. I'm not a doctor, but that's what I feel when I'm on the verge of getting a burnout. I feel like I'm being pushed too much to do so much. I cannot do everything. I feel like I wish like I had like 72 hours in one day. That is the beginning of my burnout process. I start with feeling like that, like I wish I had there are like 70 to 80 hours in one day, so
Of
that I can
course.
get everything done.
Yeah.
And then my next process is, after doing that, I look at my art supplies and I feel like, why are you here?
I know. You almost start hating what you loved like 24 hours back,
Yeah,
and
So that
it's
is a
not
sign.
healthy.
that
It's
is a
not
sign.
healthy, yeah.
Stop, take a break.
Yeah.
Other is physical exhaustion, physical symptoms. So when you feel like you feel like you don't want to get up, you don't want to even go and grab a glass of water for yourself, you are kind of pushing yourself to the edge of burnout.
Yeah.
So just sit, breathe, again take a break.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
Taking a break, because very philosophical, but rest is productive too. I mean, it's very philosophical, but it's true.
So it's
I
like
think.
before you go to a point where you break, take a break.
Yeah. I
Take a
know, I
break.
know. Yeah.
And another thing is, I'm referring to my notes because I sometimes go in my flow and then I
Off
completely
topic.
forget what I was talking about. So this is very helpful. Again, another thing is, when you feel creative block, everyone knows about creative block. Do you ever get creative block?
I do. I get creative block with my designing assignments. I end up designing not very attractive.
Yeah, like feels like
Spaces?
it's forced.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to do something,
Yeah.
but then you have to do it.
Yeah, and then my way of dealing with it is I might just take a canvas and paint. That's because I'm not with canvases and brushes.
Yeah, because you work
Every
more
single
on
day.
interior designing.
Yeah.
So canvases and painting.
Or maybe just writing down. I'm a huge
Doodler.
fan of journaling and
I've seen your
doodling.
mandala
Yeah, I love. I can just you can just find me coloring simple mandala
I've
prints.
seen your reels. I've
Yeah.
seen your reels.
I know it's not very like
Seeing your reels, you painting the mandala, it is very therapeutic for me.
it's genuinely the most, if someone just wants to begin with their creative journey and don't know how to, maybe you don't even know how to hold a brush or
Yeah.
deal with mixing paints. Of course you can go to workshops and everything, but if you want to reach that stage, just get color pens from dollar store and
Start doodling.
doodling. I mean, it can be more therapeutic than anything. That's
Yeah, sure.
my way.
So that brings us to the next
Yeah.
second thing, that when to know that you are on the verge of creative burnout, and when to figure out that it's okay to push a little bit further, and when to know that it's time to stop.
What stage were you today? when I,
I was-
pushed you, kind of
I
pushed
was
you, Paris.
at the point where I was like, okay, yeah, I'm at a point where I can be pushed. I'm not
Okay.
at a point where I need to stop.
Okay, good, yeah.
So I was at a point last night where I was on the verge of creative burnout, but then I was at a stage where it was okay to get a little bit pushed.
Okay, yeah.
Because I had a very busy week. I was teaching art classes. I had like 8 art classes in the entire week. So I was overworked,
Yeah,
and because we are not painting today, we are talking.
yeah.
We are discussing things. This is my break.
Yeah,
This
you
is
can
my
say
break.
that, yeah. Sharing things might help you getting out of it.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
my break. So it's kind of break from canvas and doing something else. Even though if it's just discussing about canvas,
Yeah,
but it's still a break from my routine. So
I'm glad.
that helps.
I'm glad, guys. Otherwise, I'll be
Yeah, that's-
guilty.
No, you're not guilty.
Yeah, but
So yeah, that is a very good example of when to know when you are okay to get pushed. And I mean, yes, push yourself to do something. Like if you are painting, if you painted like 7-8 paintings in a week, and then you feel like you are at a point of creative burnout or your point of getting overwhelmed, do something else to push you to get back to your process.
Yeah.
Because you don't want yourself to reach at a point where you have to take a long break.
Yeah.
So during your experimenting stage, you tried couple of workshops, and then you are still figuring out like what you like. Then just do something else. Go out with friends for dinner. Hang out with your friends.
Socialize, yeah.
Call your friends. Talk to your parents, family. Hang out with your family.
Yeah.
That is also a push activity that
Yeah.
you can do to get back to your
Yeah.
creative flow and
Yeah.
not go to the burnout way.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's another important
nicely
thing.
put.
And yeah, that will help you to recharge and reconnect. Recharge your
That's
batteries
important.
so that you can reconnect with your art.
Yeah, I mean, you can, you might not know now that when you are going to be burnt out.
Yes.
So you can also schedule your day to avoid the burnout at first place.
Yeah.
You know, I try to do that, but I
Like,
mean,
take
being an
healthy
artist,
breaks.
it's
Make your schedule in a
Yeah.
way that you have a healthy pause
Yeah.
section,
Yeah.
healthy timeout time.
yeah,
So
important.
if
it
you
is.
know that you have 4 classes today, then it's not a very good idea to start with a class tomorrow morning. Take the morning off
yeah,
and schedule the
rest of the
schedule
day, yeah,
whatever you have work. Schedule
Yeah.
your work after that.
yeah,
So like if on Monday, if you're busy from morning till night painting, take the Tuesday morning off and then start your painting work after evening
Maybe,
or
yeah,
after
noon, yeah.
afternoon.
yeah,
Just take short breaks so that it helps. It also is very productive for your creative process.
And then-
Otherwise you'll go to a creative block mindset where you can't even think about any ideas. That is also another type of burnout, the creative block, where you want to paint but you just can't come up with
Yeah.
any ideas
yeah,
because you are exhausted. Mentally you are exhausted, trying other different things out or trying the same things out.
yeah,
So yeah, just do something else. Like another thing that I do for my break is watch YouTube tutorials. I just go on YouTube, watch any form of art tutorial or whatever I feel connected to.
watch our podcast now.
Yeah, watch. That's a very good one. I sometimes watch horror shows.
Oh, that's a complete shift of energy.
That's fun. Yeah, that's a complete shift of energy. And then once I'm like done with 1 or 2 episodes,
Yeah.
I'll go back to my painting.
Yeah.
So that's like that is how you can deal with creative blocks. I would love to know if anyone else, I mean, all artists faces creative block. So what do you do to deal with your creative block? What do you do to give yourself a healthy break? What are your free time activity? I would like to know, so feel free to
Help us.
post in the comments.
Yeah, adding to that, I think learning to say no
Yes, no, learning to say no to yourself.
should be a course or like a whole subject
Yeah, learning
introduced.
to know that no one is judging you.
Yeah.
No one is, you are not on a security, no, you're not on a 24-hour surveillance that you have to keep working. Like if for example, if you're someone like me who have studio in their home, then you have to know when to set the boundaries, because otherwise you will always find me in my studio. I'll sleep there, I'll eat there, I won't come out of it. But then if your studio is in your home, you need to set up a studio time and a non-studio time, and in your non-studio time you are not in your studio.
Yeah.
Not for anything.
Not with your canvases, not with your
Not with your
brushes,
canvases,
paints,
not with
anything.
do anything else. If you don't have anything to do, just sit on the couch and look at your ceiling. But
with a
take a
candle
break.
burnt on your coffee table.
But take a break.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love to hear your experiences. If you, whenever you had creative blocks, what you did, do share in the comments. And today we explored a very interesting topic of finding your niche and how to avoid creative burnout, how to not get creative burnout in the process of experimenting. So
It was a therapy to me, myself, on the first place. So I hope we did a good job at this podcast because we went off topic more
so
than
many
we
times.
should have.
So many times. That's how we that's how we
Yeah.
are. We
Yeah.
just talk and talk.
Yeah.
I think that's how all girls are.
Yeah, and then
Women like to talk.
of course, and then when the topic is art,
Then
it's
how
allowed.
can you stop us?
it's allowed. Yeah, but like
So
I
yeah,
enjoyed.
so if you enjoyed this podcast, this is our episode 2. We will be recording more episodes coming forward.
Yeah.
So please do like, share, subscribe, comment.
Maybe hit a bell icon.
Tell as many friends as you can about our podcast so that we can inspire more people. Our goal through this podcast is just to create a creative community that will help all the creative souls to grow,
Yeah.
pursue their passion, find themselves, live their life,
Process.
live
Yeah.
their life doing what they love.
Yeah. Nicely put.
Yes.
Okay, guys. See you next
So-
time.
Thanks for joining us on Computers to Canvas. Thanks for joining us on Computers to Canvas.